Legion, episode 6, come on! Right, at the end of the episode, there was this bizarre ending where all the main characters find themselves back at the institution, all sat around in a circle, and the only difference this time is that the psychiatrist is Lenny, or whatever she's called. Obviously, she is the manifestation of the evil goblin demon type dude who had control of David and is inside his head. Right, I'm not going to go stage by stage of this episode, but what I will do is basically what's happening in this episode is Lenny, the demon, has put everyone back in the institution as it's a comfortable place for them all to be, so it can gain complete control over them. Now, as the episode progresses, Sydney notices that there's this strange door amongst the corridors in the institution that doesn't belong there. We discover at one point when Lenny actually goes through this door that this is like almost is it the safe room, or this is the room of David's memories, almost like the memories that Lenny has been manipulating throughout all this time, giving him new memories and so on. Maybe this room is essentially the true memories. And the reason why I say that is because when Lenny goes into this room, she's dancing around and she's thoroughly enjoying herself. It's even like a little musical number. It's like, I've got you, David. You've got no chance now. I've got complete control. And now I'm going to dance around in your memories, in all your moments that are actually true to your life. And I've got them. La, 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 la. They all belong to me. Now, there's a couple of moments in this episode that really, really interest me. And one part of the story that really interests me is the fact that Oliver, frozen in his little block of ice cube in the astral plane, is attempting to, this is my interpretation, is attempting to save them from this moment, which kind of tells us how powerful Oliver is that Oliver can connect to them even from the astral plane. And that almost kind of adds a bit of foundation to what I said last time about the fact that Oliver has got so much power that maybe Oliver will pose a threat, or maybe even save David from all this. It's clear that he's powerful because he communicates with Carrie and he communicates with Melanie, and then towards the end of the episode we see that Carrie is inside the underwater gear, and he's the one who's communicating with Sydney. And I really like that idea. I like the fact that, from beyond the grave, as it were, Oliver is attempting to save these guys, which is awesome. Now, the big reveal for me is the identity of the goblin, of Lenny. And without kind of saying, this is my name, she basically tells us that she's the Shadow King. Now, the Shadow King is from the comics. The Shadow King was originally an enemy of Professor X, and now is obviously preying upon David. And there is this basically scene where she's got David pinned down, and she's basically saying, I knew your dad, I knew your real dad, and he tried to hide you from me, but now I've got you. Why can't we just be together always? Because what a great team, the amount of power that we could have together. I mean, at this point, David is absolutely scared stiff, and he's like, what are you talking about? I'm in my happy place. Why are you saying this to me? This side of David has no idea what's going on. But that is the ultimate big reveal. This is the Shadow King. And, obviously, the Shadow King actually explains itself as being a parasite, as being a fungus that just is growing on David, so much so that eventually David will die and the parasite will rule. And so we now know how it's going to end for David if this continues. And that's awesome. We've got, how many episodes we've got left now? 4 episodes left now. And what's going to happen next, Where's it going to go? How's David going to get out of this? Is Oliver going to save David? It's really, really good. And I like this now. We've almost got to this peak, this point in this first series where everything's just slowly getting explained to us. I think. Is it getting explained to us? Or it's subtly giving us these moments about where these characters can go. What kind of what I'm thinking is that moment that they left us in at the end of season 5, episode 5, where they're about to get shot. Where do we go from there? Is Sydney going to get shot? Is she going to die? Because she's the one, she jumped in front of David as they're about to get shot. So what the hell's going to happen, you know? I mean, that's in the physical world. Will David gain control over himself and stop the bullets, like Neo style, you know? Or is he just going to teleport everyone out of that moment? Which would be absolutely awesome, wouldn't it? If he just finally opens his eyes at that one singular moment and everyone just gets teleported out there. It's brilliant, and I really can't wait. Now, the one character that kind of leaves me guessing by the end of this episode is the milky-eyed man. And we know he's called Walter because Lenny addresses him as Walter, and Lenny almost says, you know, I'm interested by him. I like this guy. So, which tells us that Walter is evil. Obviously, it's been practically been told to us that he's the bad guy, but the way that the Shadow King addresses him about what kind of character he is, and the fact that the Shadow King's got no intention of taking over Walter. Maybe just, you know, the Shadow King is impressed with Walter and his persistence and what he wants to do to them all. I like that. But yeah, wow, what an episode. It's funny because it seemed like it was only on for 20 minutes, you know, it totally flew by, and that, for me, that's a good sign of any good episode of a TV show, is that if it's flown by, it means it's just been smooth and flowing, and it hasn't got too lost in itself. Which, to be honest with you, after 10 or 15 minutes of watching this episode, I did think, oh, I've sort of seen this somewhere before, I've seen this idea of being stuck in mines, and that, you know, everyone is sort of feeling all happy joy because they're in this happy place with no interference. But I liked how this unfolded. I liked how all the other characters became aware of this place and the fact they don't belong there. I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed how each character's grown. But yeah, as a final summary, we've got Oliver trying to save them from the astral plane. We've got David is being given the big reveal about the fact of who the parasite is, and the fact that it's clearly got to be the Shadow King. Whether they label him as the Shadow King or not, I don't know. And also between last episode and this episode, David has now also been given the reveal that he was obviously adopted by Amy's parents, and there's obviously a mystery about who his real dad is. But we all know that his real dad is Professor X. So yeah, awesome. Can't wait for next week. So yeah, bring it on, more Legion. Anyway guys, as always, thank you very much for watching. Always a pleasure, never a chore. Click subscribe if you want to see more. Peace out, and I'll see you next time.